All right, so 10 pros and cons of home-based food businesses. In this podcast, which we'll upload onto our YouTube channel as well, you definitely want to watch this from beginning to end because I'm going to give you some real-life pros and cons of having your own food business from home. We're going to dive into those 10 right now. All right, so a new wave of entrepreneurship has swept over us in recent years. The trend is undeniable. Home-based food businesses are growing rapidly and in popularity. But before you set out on this gastronomic journey, if you will, it's important to weigh the pros and cons. And in this video, we're actually going to delve into the world of selling food from home and dissecting advantages and disadvantages to help you make an informed decision on whether or not to start one. So before we start, definitely hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Watch from number 10 down to number 1. We're going to dive right into it. Okay, let's start with number 10, the pro, low initial investment. So one of the most appealing actual advantages of home-based food businesses is the relatively low initial investment. You already have the space to work, the comfort of your own kitchen. Now, all you need to purchase are raw materials and perhaps some, of course, additional cooking utensils. All right, so the cons, actually, you have limited scalability. Now, however, one significant disadvantage here is that your business's scale may be limited. Now, there's only so much food that you can actually cook in your home kitchen, of course, and expanding may eventually require investing in a larger, potentially even more professional kitchen or even hiring staff, which could increase costs significantly. Number 9, the pro, flexibility. Now, when you're selling food from home, the one thing you want to keep in mind is your work schedule can be as flexible as you want it to be. Now, you can decide when to cook and deliver your food products. And this flexibility is a major advantage for those who need to balance other commitments, of course, like parenting or even having another job. So this is one thing that's really a plus. Now, the con, the downside, blurring a work and home life when you've got a home-based food business. So now on the flip side, of course, now the boundary between work and home life can be a little blurred at sometimes. A home-based food business has risks of its own, okay? So there's a risk of work creeping into your relaxation or family time, which could lead to a stress or even a burnt out situation. Number 8, pro, passion and creativity. Now, this is actually kind of the fun aspect of it. If cooking is your passion, then what better way to earn a living? You actually get to express your creativity. You can experiment with recipes. You can take pride in the smiles of your satisfied customers when you sell your food products. The advantages of doing what you love can't be, of course, overstated. Now, the con to this is a risk of monotony. So, yet a word of caution, turning a hobby into a business can lead sometimes into monotony. Suddenly, you're relaxing, your cooking sessions become a constant pressure to deliver your food product. It's a disadvantage that can dampen your passion for your food cooking over time and lead to kind of another burnout situation. Now, number 7, pro, growing market. Now, there is a growing demand for homemade, healthy, and even unique food options, believe it or not, all over the US. People appreciate the personal touch and their authenticity of their experience that can come from selling food from home. Now, this trend is a significant advantage for home-based food entrepreneurs because, again, you have everything you need to pretty much get started doing it. Now, one of the downsides, the cons, now competition and market saturation. Now, this may be a couple of terms you might be very familiar with, but however, the increasing popularity of home-based food businesses also means that there's an increased competition, believe it or not. So you need to constantly kind of innovate and keep your menu exciting in order for you to stand out, which can, of course, be challenging and even time-consuming if it's something that you love to do, but you're always having to come up with a creative side to it. Number 6, the pro, is a lower operating cost. Now, operating costs are generally lower for home-based food entrepreneurs and home-based food businesses compared to like a traditional restaurant or even a cafe. Now, there's no need to pay rent and utility bills or even a maintenance cost as well for a separate business space because you already have that at your home. Now, cons, the downside of it, the regulatory hurdles. Yes, that's right. That said, selling food from home isn't without its regulatory hurdles. Now, you'll need to comply, of course, with food safety and hygiene regulations, which most cottage foods do establish, which might require some changes to your kitchen setup, maybe even your cooking processes. And these changes can be costly and, of course, require a substantial amount of time and energy in order for you to get set up in the initial stages. Number 5, so the pro, so a shorter supply chain. Now, this is really cool. With a home-based food business, you actually have a direct link to your customers, which actually enabling a more personalized service if you haven't thought of it that way. You can adjust your recipes based on feedback and maintain a closer relationship with your clientele compared to a lot of other types of food businesses. Now, the downside, the con to that, dependence on the local market. So, yet being a local business also has its disadvantages in some ways too. Your success is heavily dependent upon the local market. Now, if the demand for homemade food isn't that strong in your area, it could limit your business's potential to even get started, let alone scale. All right, so number four, pro. Now, what are the environmental sustainability? So, operating a home based food business can be more environmentally friendly as well. You're likely to have less food waste and a smaller carbon footprint due to the lower energy use and a lack of daily commute as well. So, doing it from home, you're already tapping into your existing electricity and electrical bill. Now, there's a con to it now as well, limited branding opportunities. Now, yet one disadvantage is the lack of physical presence. Now, which can limit your branding opportunities. And here's what I mean. So, without a storefront, it can be a bit harder to attract walk in customers or spread the word about your business, which traditional brick and mortar businesses have. So, that's one thing you might want to keep in mind as well. Number three, another pro is an opportunities for a niche markets. So, with a home based food business, another great thing you can focus on niche markets, such as even vegan foods or vegan baked goods, gluten free, or even ethnic foods. Serving these specialty foods can differentiate your business and attract a dedicated customer base as well. Now, on the flip side, though, there is a narrow customer base with niche markets, something to think about. But however, while niche markets offer opportunities, they also come with a narrower customer base. This disadvantage means that you're dependent on a smaller group of customers, which of course can make your business more vulnerable to changes, customer preferences, and even dietary trends. So number two, pro, the autonomy. Now, this is kind of a unique aspect some people don't think about. But when you're selling food from home, you are your own boss. You can make the decisions and directly reap the benefits of your hard work. This autonomy can also be deeply satisfying and extremely motivating because the sky is the limit with what you can do and the potential for earnings. Now, the con is the responsibility and the pressure. Now, this is something that's true with all businesses. But with great power comes great responsibility, as they said in the Spider-Man movies. You have to handle all aspects of the business, from actually cooking to customer service to even accounting. And this pressure can be daunting at times and may not suit everyone's temperament because you're responsible for everything. So number one of the best and biggest pro is personal satisfaction. Last but certainly not least, the sense of achievement and personal satisfaction derived from running a home-based food business can be immense. It's actually seeing your creations delight others is a joy and it transcends mere monetary gain. So if you'd like to make people happy with what you're actually baking or making or cooking, this is definitely the route to go. Now, the only downside to this is uncertain income. So despite all of the advantages I just stated, selling food from home comes with the risk of uncertain income. Like, of course, any business, it may take some time to become profitable. Income fluctuations can cause stress and, of course, require a bunch of balances in your finances. And in conclusion, while the world of home-based food businesses offers exciting possibilities, it of course is not without its challenges, just like any other business. So the pros and cons listed here are not, of course, exhaustive. There are a handful of other things that we could get into, but they do provide a good starting point for anyone considering taking the plunge. Always remember that good planning and hard work and a passion for what you do are great ingredients to help any food business get started. And if this was helpful, of course, definitely give us a big thumbs up. If you have any questions, let us know down below. And of course, this podcast was helpful. Do give us a big thumbs up. Check out all of our podcasts. You can listen to us online. We're on 11 platforms. I'll have those listed down in the description as well. And check out all of these additional video resources here to help you get started. We'll see you guys on our next video.